Well, this is a 40-page version of the Meadows Massacre. Dunn uses Josiah Gibbs and Fanny Stenhouse for sure. He gives an interesting description of the Indians around there. I don't know exactly how accurate it is, but it's interesting. He deals a little bit with the Gunnison Massacre. He gives an interesting description of their march. Tramp, tramp, tramp. They are rounding the point of the ridge, etc. Tramp, 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 the wagons with the wounded. Tramp, 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 the wagons have just passed out of sight. On 262 and 63 gives a good description of the parties that were sent out allegedly and then found and killed. I say allegedly because it's just so hard to figure out what happened. Here's an interesting quote from Brigham. "I can say honestly and truly before God and the holy angels and all men that not one act of murder or disorder has occurred in this city or territory that I had any knowledge of, any more than a babe a week old after the event had transpired. That is the reason they cannot trace any crime to me. If I have faith enough to cause the devils to eat up the devils like the Kilkenny cats, I shall certainly exercise it." There's 2 points in reading this. One is what he says, but Kilkenny cats. Mormons invented Americats as a word, and Mormons invented Missouri wildcats. That was a word that I've traced somewhere after the event, someone around Provo, describing some people coming through there as a bunch of Missouri wildcats. It's not that they called themselves Missouri wildcats. A Mormon described these people as Missouri wildcats, and it wasn't the Fanchers. Okay, so my point is why do Mormons have this fascination with cats? Kilkenny cats, Americats, and Missouri wildcats. What's that all about? On 276 he has a couple of interesting descriptions. "It was not strange that a lad of Beaver drank deeply of rum without staggering and horrified his acquaintances with recitals of the visions that he saw. It was not strange that young Spencer, the school teacher at St. George, wasted to a skeleton, and after writing piteously to his bishop and Brigham for some assurance that he could drive away the terrors that haunted him, die in gruesome tortures of remorse." I've read about Spencer. Or this, "They heard of the attack on the shepherd's train at Hedspeth's Cutoff, where a child of 18 months was wantonly tossed on the rocks and its limbs broken, the party being recognized as painted whites. They heard of Lieutenant Gray's party intentionally led into an ambush by Mormons. They heard of a white woman on one train ravished by 5 men and shot, and lived to tell that her assailants were all painted whites," and on it goes. On 280 you'll read about how they selected Lee's jury. So they make a little inquiry and then write down the names of the people and use an asterisk to indicate the level of sympathy.